everybody, this is Allie, and today we're having an episode of Coffee with Allie, and my guest is Natalie. Natalie is an amazing costumer, and so today we're going to speak to Natalie about some of her costumes and her creations and her inspirations. So let's start off, let's talk a little bit about, I know you had always wanted to be a mermaid.
Yes.
And last summer, Sierra and I did environmental mermaids. And anyone that's seen the work that Sierra and I collaborate on will find that we don't do normal mermaids.
No. Mm-mm.
So Natalie was our trash mermaid. Our ocean trash mermaid.
Ocean trash.
Yeah.
Island trash mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash island.
Trash island.
And we
Yes.
filled the kiddie pool with a bunch of, we cleaned it. Clean trash.
Recycled trash we'd been hoarding and not sending off to recycle for weeks.
So you made a tail.
Yes.
So what about that tail? Like,
Yeah, so actually each of the scales that you see were each individually cut by my Cricut cutter.
oh, really?
Yeah, so if you don't know what a Cricut cutter is, it's this amazing design for cutting things easily in your own home. It's very portable, and you design it in their sort of design space, and it cut out each individual little scale for me. And so after it kind of cut the lines, I just painted over it and then just peeled each one out and then
Oh my God.
attached them each individually to my tail. There's lots of different mermaid tails out there. So there's the ones that are printed, and printed alone looks cool. There's people who take the printed stuff, and this goes for like superhero bodysuits and stuff too, and they'll do the puff paint on it, so it has more of a 3D,
I've seen that
3D
done.
look to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, so it was about
Yeah.
3 hours of makeup and yeah, a 15-minute shoot. But it was fun.
Yeah, it's worth it. You get a couple solid pictures, and you're like, worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then like, okay, so here's something I saw that Natalie did with her armor that just, to me, was just, I was blown away, was her dark fairy. She did a dark fairy with armor for FairyCon, and she used, if I'm not mistaken, a hot glue gun
Yes.
to draw the details in 3D onto the armor.
Kind of.
Okay.
So you know, like those cake molds they have at like Joann's or
Yeah,
Michael's,
yeah,
or you
yeah.
can get them on. I can get all mine on Amazon because they have more unique ones, I think, and more of a selection. If you take your glue gun and you just and you have to do a high heat one. You can't have like a cheap heat gun. You have
I
to have
a
one
cheap
that's like
a very cheap.
I have one that it's like you can do like 280 degrees or it can do like 340 or
Is
something.
that like the $20 one?
Like the $20 or $30 gun, yeah.
I have the $6 one.
It's funny that you just said the $6 one or like the $20 one because it's the more expensive one, but it's a good investment. But yeah, you take those silicone molds and you push hot glue into them, and then you wait for them to cool, and then you can glue it directly onto your armor. Yeah.
Well, she makes a lot of amazing things. She also has a concept, she tells me about it all the time, is the buy versus
Oh, yes.
make. And the
Yes.
return on investment. She's very clinical about this.
Yes. I feel like this is something that gets talked about a lot in the cosplay community. Obviously, cosplay is for everybody. You know, everybody can make a costume. Everybody can buy a costume and wear it. You can do whatever you want.
I buy shit on Amazon.
Yeah, I do too. I think when I first got into cosplay, I got in because I'm a maker. I love making things, and I still to this day, I get most joy out of making things. But when I'm collaborating with somebody and they have a really cool idea and I just don't have the time to make something, I do still try to keep some elements of making some parts or tailoring some parts or making a little different. But there are times that I'm like, I do not have time to make a jumpsuit. I'm going to buy it on Amazon. And there's no shame in that because at the end of the day, I feel like especially if it's for a photo shoot, we're just trying to make art, you know? And so we're going for a cool picture. I mean, I do like to be able to say that I made things, but I really want a cool picture. If I'm gonna have to hurry something and it's not gonna turn out great, and I would be saving time, especially on Amazon. I feel like, you know, if it's like a $20 jumpsuit, and by the time I go buy the fabric and my time and everything, it's like it could easily be something that could cost like $100 if I'm not careful.
And sometimes I'm sure you buy something and you adapt,
modify it. Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's especially for me, and I'm sure a lot of makers might feel this way. Sometimes making the base part of something's like the boring part. It's like, I gotta make this jacket, I gotta put the lining in it. And then the fun part is the painting it, the decorating it, the
making it your own.
Making it your own. And that's what I really like. So sometimes if I can just buy the base piece and then do all the enhancements to it and add things to it, and lace and chiffon and flowers, that's, for me, that's the fun part. Like doing all that, like adding chiffon and...
Where's your happy place of inspiration?
I have a few answers for that.
Okay.
Most of my like deep down rooted inspiration is a lot of like Ren Fair stuff, fantasy, kind of like Lord of the Rings type stuff. I really love like woodland fairies. Anytime I can wear ears.
Ears are
the
fun.
elf ears. Thank you. I got those from Geekling Creations. She makes very lifelike ears. But yeah, that's my deep down. I love making stuff like that, and I'm always inspired to see what other people do and maybe take characters and mashups and fantasy themes. I love that. And mermaid stuff, kind of like I said, fantasy is my biggest. I do like to do superhero-ish type stuff, but it's more driven by other people's interests. So if people reach out to me and say like, oh, I love your Mara. The reason I got into Mara in the first place was they released the Justice League movie still of her like coming out of the water, and I went, oh, what a cool costume, I want to make that.
It is cool.
Thank you. And so after that I was just inspired by the picture and her costume, and I just thought, wow, that's really cool, I want to make that. So sometimes it's a combination of like I have certain inspiration and passion and interest in things, and then others reaching out with a really neat idea that maybe wasn't like the shoot with Dan recently with the space ladies.
Space
you know,
ladies.
I don't really do anything futuristic, but Sierra put together some really cool sort of like makeup boards and ideas, and they put together a Pinterest page, and they were pinning some kind of like, some of them looked like sort of 70s futuristic, sort of like...
It was very retro, futuristic.
I got sort of like a Bond girl vibe from some of them, and I thought, ooh, that's cool, okay. You know, would I've like thought of that? Probably not, but I really liked the concept and the idea and the way that it was pitched.
So, I'm sure I have some future shoots lined up with Natalie.
What do we got?
I'm
What do you
not sure
got?
what we've got. If we don't, by the end of the evening, we'll have something.
Yeah, we
shoot a lot.
Every time we shoot, we talk about what we're going to shoot next.
Yeah, we do.
We get ideas as we're shooting ideas that we had
do.
years ago. That's the fun thing, I think, with some of these collaborative shoots is you have like one idea and how it can kind of jumpstart like ideas for other things. Like we did the sort of housewife, 50s housewife pinup, but like
so much fun.
Monsters, like classic monsters.
Stepford Monster Wives.
Yeah, it's like Stepford, yeah. Sometimes we come up with ideas and there are no other pictures of kind of what we're thinking. So we're literally going into these shoots just trying to like one of us has in our head exactly what we want to do, and the others are just trying to like understand that vision and that concept and like do our best. But it's interesting because like sometimes we're limited on our Pinterest boards of like what we're exceeding what we can do.
We're exceeding
what we think we're gonna do
on the internet.
Well, like the Mermaid trash one, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, there was some really cool work that folks have done, but there wasn't a whole lot of like, there's tons of mermaid stuff, but not lots of mermaid trash.
Most mermaids are like a princess wearing a tail.
Well, environmental mermaids, because there were some trash ones.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like a desert one. There wasn't like an inner city pollution.
No. Or the desert
oil
was
spill.
Or the rainforest, the lake. Yeah, the oil spill
the oil
was the
spill
lake.
one was really cool. That was pretty.
Yeah. So I want to thank you so much, Natalie, for joining Coffee with Allie. And I will definitely be sharing more of our images, probably some of our behind the scenes.
There's some funny ones,
Yeah. And I'm sure you've seen some great pictures. And if you have questions, put them in the comments, because like Natalie, I can say, hey, can you answer this question?
Yes.
Please?
Yes.
She'll get in there. So
happy to.
Yeah, and follow us. Especially, she's got a Facebook, she's got an Instagram. She's way more active on her Instagram page.
Yeah.
So I've got all that information in the description. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications, the bells, so you know when there's a new video out. And thank you very much.